Hello friends, ich bin das Food, and today we are going to talk about a subject that's been bothering me in DBD for a little bit of time, and I think you do see this in just about every online competitive game of any kind, but Dead by Daylight has a real issue with it, and I think without going into a separate issue, I think it stems from the ridiculous honor system, but again, we're not going to get into that. Today, I want to talk about hypocrisy in Dead by Daylight, and why I think that's kind of ruining the experience for a lot of people, because look, as much as we might be pained to admit it, Dead by Daylight is a fun game. It's a fun game at heart, and I think a lot of people can have a lot of fun with it, but I think one thing that's really cutting into the fun and the enjoyment that a lot of people feel is this just suffocating hypocrisy that people bring into the game. And I'm gonna go in and hop right in and give some examples here. Let's talk about meta perks, right? Are they okay or are they not? And you may, I would imagine what you're gonna say right off the bat is, oh yeah, they're fine, because you use meta perks. I would imagine. Maybe you don't. Maybe you've been playing long enough, or maybe you're like me, right? I'm a little nutty. I just really enjoy bringing Pharmacy. Pharmacy has been a staple of my lineups for quite a while. Is it a good perk? No, by all objective means, it's actually generally pretty much a waste of a slot, right? But I enjoy it, and for whatever reason, I like collecting the green med kits. So I bring Pharmacy. It's not a super meta perk, but of course, if I really want to win, I'm happy to bring meta perks. Yeah, sure, why not? And I think that's the thing, right? When we think about it in terms of ourselves, we say, okay, yeah, meta perks are fine. Meta perks are great. But then you play against somebody, and I can't tell you how many times I've encountered this type of mindset where, you know, I'll see that somebody's a streamer, right? So I'll go watch the game back from their perspective, and let's say I'm playing Killer, right? Let's say I'm playing Killer. Game loads in. Ugh, of course, he brought Corrupt Intervention. You know, they hop off a Jin. This guy's got Ruin. Oh, he's got Undying. That was just Undying. Now we have to go find another totem. Here lately it's, he's got Pain Resonance. He's got Pain Resonance. That takes no skill. Obviously, the big one being Noed. Wow, you're boosted. You brought Noed. And by the way, this doesn't just happen to killers. You know, I've seen so many killer players that they'll be playing, and obviously you have a Dead Hard. Oh, you have Decisive Strike. Oh yeah, Iron Will. Wow, nothing but meta perks. Wow, Unbreakable, Circle of Healing. You know, any exhaustion perk ever. And that's where I really first started noticing this, right? This was where it became a big thing for me, where I was like, okay, so there's a disconnect. There is a rules for thee, but not for me approach that some people seem to take with this game. And I'm not saying that I don't understand it, right? I understand that you get tired of every killer you face having Pop Goes the Weasel. I understand that you get tired of every survivor you face having Dead Hard, or at least a healthy enough amount of survivors having Dead Hard that you have to assume they all have it until they prove otherwise, until they Lithe or Sprint Burst or do something else to make you say, oh, okay, that's not what they have. You have to play around Dead Hard. You have to assume things like Pop Goes the Weasel. You do have to assume these really meta perks are in. You know, as a survivor, you're always terrified taking that first hit after the gens pop, right? Because it's like, okay, well, this is where we find out. Do they have Noed or do they not? And that's where I think I see so much weird toxicity, right? Because it's weird to me that this is what bothers people. That somebody can be running, I don't know, DS, Unbreakable, Dead Hard, Iron Will. And then they get hit with Noed and they're like, this person, they're using strong perks. And you see it from both sides. And that's one area that's really been bothering me. And I think it really leads into the whole debate about second chance perks, right? Are they a problem or are they not? And you have to decide, because they're either a problem that both sides have second chance perks, so they're not a problem at all, right? And look, I fully understand that survivors have more second chance perks. And I understand that Killer is the more frustrating role more often than not. I understand that. I used to be more of a Killer main. I'm kind of transitioning more towards Survivor main because it's just less stressful and I can talk to chat and do all that more, which by the way, twitchtv.dasfood if you want to go catch I'm not going to promise they're good streams, but hey, I'll tell you what, they certainly are streams. But yeah, second chance perks are something that I find a lot of people are kind of hypocritical on, right? Because it will be the people who have Dead Hard that freak the hell out when they see Noed. Or it'll be people who have Noed that, you know, they justify by saying, oh, well, I have to because all these second chance perks. And I don't know why I always do a voice when I do the Killer side of things. It would make you think I don't like the Killer side. Like, again, I've been a Killer main longer than, I don't know, maybe I'm just, that's not super relevant. But, so, you know, I think perks are a great example of it, but they're not the only example of where I really see hypocrisy in this game, right? So obviously, one thing you see a lot of with DBD is the toxic videos on YouTube, right? Oh, toxic streamer exposed, toxic streamer loses their mind, toxic streamer freaks out because I snuck into their house and had sex with not just their parents, but also their dog. You know, you have all these just, this escalating meta around what's happening in the reaction videos with all the DBD toxic streams, you know? And it raises this question, right? BM, bad manners. Is it harmful or is it harmless, right? So if a survivor, if they teabag you, if they click their flashlights, if they do all the fast vaulting to notification spam you, like they're jumping in and out of lockers or vaulting a pallet or a window or whatever, you know, if they're waiting at the exit gates to like point at you and do hit 2 on their keyboard to wave you in, like, oh, look, you can't catch us. Is that a problem? What about when killers BM? If they hit you while you're on the hook? If they nod at you after they down you? There are killer-specific BMs, like Plague puking on you while you're down, Clown throwing bottles at you while you're down, or Ghostface teabagging you. You know, are these things actually harmful or are they not? Because what I find, and I don't want to speak in generalities, right? I don't want to say everybody does this, but what a lot of people do is, whichever side they're playing, they're happy to BM, but then the other side BMs, and it becomes some great testament to the morality of their character. It becomes this illuminating fact that, aha, I knew you were a villain all along. When in reality, my stance on BM is that teabagging, clicking a flashlight, hitting somebody on the hook, it never killed anybody, right? Is it rude? Yeah, I mean, it's in the name. It's BM. It's bad manners. But is it a big deal? No. I used to be more annoyed by it than I am now. I've just been playing long enough that, especially a lot of the flashlight clickers, they'll actually put themselves out of position because they're so desperate to get their clicks in. So actually, you can use those types of things to your advantage. If the killer is hanging around your hook and hitting you while you're on it, they are not pressuring gens. So, you know, if you're playing it from like, hey, I want to play to win, they're actually hurting themselves with things like teabagging and clicking flashlights and all that. So I don't think it's a big deal. I would make a bit of an exception. I think post-game chat is where you need to end it. And at some point I might do a full video on BM because I do think there's a lot to say about BM. But when you get to post-game chat, I think of it kind of like, you know, you watch a sports game, right? You know sports ball. You have like an easy task you want to do, but it's made hard because the other side doesn't want to let you do that task. It's great. I love sports ball. And what you get is you get these guys who they're competitors. They're talking all game. It's nasty stuff. And then as soon as the final whistle sounds, they're going and they're dapping each other up. Sometimes they're hugging. Hey, good game, man. Good game. Hell of a player. And I kind of wish DBD's community would do that. I kind of wish we could teabag and we could hit on the hook and we could nod, you know, give the nodders in chat. We could, you know, I guess do whatever, notification spam, whatever BM you want to do. But then you get to post-game chat, you just give a, hey, GG, well played. GG, that was a good one. Hey, fun game. Instead of, I find that the post-game chat is where lines start to get crossed, you know. You jump in and people start saying, oh, kill yourself and stuff like that. And just truly heinous shit. And that's where I think that BM becomes harmful. But before that, I think it's fine, and I really wish that people could kind of take that moment to look in the mirror, right? Did you teabag or click your flashlight in the match? Did you hit somebody on the hook? Did you teabag them as Ghostface? Did you do, you know, anything like that? Okay, well then don't be surprised when they return your BM with more BM. And if they BM you and you BM right back, that's great. You're both having fun now. Because honestly, BM should be fun. And I think that this rush to make some kind of moral statement on it is one reason that Dead by Daylight has really rubbed me wrong as a community. I feel like there are so many almost armchair theologians or philosophers who are sitting back and, you know, they want to play psychiatrist, right? They want to say, well, you did this because you have these deep-seated anger issues. When in reality, it's a silly game and people like to get in and be kind of silly. And I think that's fine. And it leads me kind of to my ultimate question that I wanted to ask with this, right? This is the piece I want to leave you on, and I want you to comment on it below, because this is, look, usually when a YouTuber says comment below, what they mean is, hey, engage with the video. This will help me in the algorithm. I actually want answers on this. I actually want people to come back to me and say, hey, here's how I feel about this. Probably more so than any video I've ever put out. When you find yourself angry in Dead by Daylight, you know, after a game, did your opponent actually do something wrong, or are you just programmed to kind of hate the other side? I'm going to let that one set in for a little bit, right? Because I think more often than not, it's the other way around. There's so many countless examples. Because look, I'm going to go in and I'm going to level with you. I am a junkie when it comes to the toxic streamer videos. I can't get enough of them. I don't actually encounter the same amount of toxicity from streamers. I've encountered some of it. Recently, I had a streamer who was playing in a 3-person Swift, and I was playing Trickster, and I almost made a video out of it, but I decided they were probably just having a bad day, and I didn't want to bring any kind of negativity towards them. But they accused me of being an asshole for, I kid you not, using my knives as Trickster. They said that I was being an asshole because I used Trickster's power. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't even know what to do with that one. But those types of videos are hilarious to me, and I understand the need for those. But one thing I notice with them is there's always just this hypocrisy. It's always rules for thee and not for me. And I want to ask, is this because, are you angry when you get angry because the other side did something genuinely wrong, like hacks or, putting something vulgar in the post-game chat? Or are you just angry that you lost? Are you just angry that you lost, or maybe that you had to work too hard to win? I don't know. I'm very excited to hear what you guys say on this one, but this is just something that's kind of been eating away at me. That's going to do it for me. I've been DasFood, and until next time, bye, friends.